Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. I am giving you a warning about Trump's Surgeon General pick who wants to track your biomarkers. Yes, Casey Means promotes wearable technology, and she owns a couple of tech companies that do just that.
Under this patch, under the levels patch, is actually the Freestyle Libra from Abbott. And it just uses this little filament that goes into your skin to track blood glucose levels. And you can get that in real time on your phone and track it throughout the day. I can't get over how exciting this is. And it just uses this little filament that goes into your skin. And it just uses this little filament that goes into your skin. And it just uses this little filament that goes into your skin. This is really going to take off in mainstream once it becomes more available.
We're going to be hearing a little bit from Casey Means. Here she is. And you're telling me that this is a Stanford Medical School graduate who dropped out of her residency to start an Instagram page. And now she has been nominated by President Trump to be basically the country's top doctor, and she doesn't even have a medical license. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but let's listen to just a few moments of an interview, and here we go.
So exercise, depending on the type of exercise, whether it's low intensity or high intensity, there seems to be a very different metabolic response. So what exactly is happening to glucose levels depending on the type of exercise that a person's doing?
This is such an interesting question and definitely one that we get a lot. So, the first thing is that some people are going to see a rise in their glucose values on their continuous glucose monitor when they're doing intense exercise. And when I say intense exercise, I mean exercise that's above about an 80% VO2 max. And another way to sort of figure that out is about 80% of max heart rate. So,
Doesn't she sound like Zuckerberg?
The future depends on all of us. And whether you like Facebook or not, I think we need to recognize what is at stake and come together to stand for voice and free expression at this critical moment.
That vocal fry. My goodness, I hope that nothing's wrong with her voice. Does she have the same condition that Bob Kennedy has? Okay, that's a little difficult to listen to. I will leave that link for you. What I want to do is share with you the research that I've done about this nominee for the Surgeon General. So there's a link there for the interview. And again, I'm not sure what's wrong with her voice. It sounds like a severe case of vocal fry, which is defined as a low, rough, creaky, scratchy sound. That happens when there's not enough air pushing through the vocal cords. An article on the Medical Republic reported some studies suggest that vocal fry, particularly in women, may be perceived as less professional, less educated, or less trustworthy. Very interesting. Now, she is promoting medical wearables that track your biomarker data. And she is, as I say, the founder of a couple of medical tech companies that track your cholesterol, triglycerides, blood sugar levels, calories, exercise. Gee, what possibly could go wrong? Any conflict of interest here? What's interesting to me is that her father served as an assistant to Nelson Rockefeller and also worked for NASA. Excuse me. Now, the Department of Health and Human Services recently announced that researchers would get access to everyone's private medical data. I did a video for you on this earlier. That's right. In order to find out what's causing autism, step right up and the government will grab what it wants from your pharmacy record, your medical insurance, Medicare, Fitbit, Apple Watch, and other tracking devices. What a perfect fit for Casey Means. I mean, what a coincidence. That Means is the owner of medical tech companies that do just that. Now, here's the first one. It's called Levels, and that is a biometric tracking company started and owned by Casey Means. And I've got a couple of videos to share with you by other influencers that were promoting this product. And it is something that you inject into into your skin. Yes, they are jabbing themselves with a device in these videos that you wear called a wearable. Casey is a huge fan of wearables, which track everything you do, where you go, what you eat, and who knows what else. Let's play this here. It's right on the Levels website. In fact, what I'm going to do is share with you a couple of other videos where you can see what people are saying about this.
Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and also a cyborg. 3 weeks ago, I had a device implanted into my arm to become superhuman. Now when I say had it implanted, here's how that went. That felt like absolutely nothing. This is a continuous glucose monitor, and it is definitively the future of health and fitness, sugar in real time. Now the company Levels and their app is bringing CGM to everyone. And I say everyone because I truly believe this is gonna be the next big thing, and as common as like a fitness watch.
As common as a fitness watch. Uh-huh. Yeah, I see.
So I'll show you how to put it on. We'll take a look at the hardware and the software, and then I'll take you through my journey over the last month and taking a look at my food. Okay, so you actually will download both the LibraLink Freestyle app and the Levels app, and there are instructions for applying the sensor on both of those applications. First, you'll use an alcohol swab provided in the box to sterilize your skin, and then you can go about unpackaging the applicator. First, you take the cap off, which reveals the connector between the applicator and the continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. Then you line up the two properly and press down on a hard surface to attach the applicator to the CGM. Press down firmly until it comes to a stop. And finally, you hold it to your arm and press down firmly. Ideally, you want to put it in a stable area without too much muscle or movement. I chose right behind the top of my tricep on my upper arm. And the applicator actually has a small needle that goes in and out of your arm very rapidly and quickly places the soft filament in the tissue of your arm for sensing. All right, ready? Here we go. I didn't feel anything. And there it is in my arm. Again,
this is the company that Casey Means owns. To implant this filament into your skin to track your glucose levels, your heart rate, your triglycerides, your cholesterol, and other biomarkers that the government wants to get its grubby mitts on. And apparently, Maha folks are applauding Casey's appointment as Surgeon General. So I will have this for you to watch if you like. You can see the entire full-length videos that are promoting this. They look very excited to wear this patch. Notice the MK Ultra butterfly logo of the partner company. Am I the only one bothered by this? People are applauding a new Surgeon General who wants to track your every move and every morsel of food, and to do so with an injection of a filament into your body. My question, will you be required to wear this by your doctor in order to get your sick care, or excuse me, your medical care, your wellness care? Because it's all about prevention now, which means more tests and more preventative medicine. And that's her other company. It's called Function Health. Also started and owned by Casey Means. And this is where you can get 160 plus lab tests, whole body testing tracked over time. Well, how do you like them apples? This is her other health tracker, and these lab tests can track you over time. Oh, I meant to mention that the Levels app is $40 a month, and this one, Function, is $4.99 a year. A bargain. It's a real bargain. And who exactly is going to have access to your lab results? Well, Casey Means and the government, of course. Bob and his HSS staff told us exactly that. Of course, it's probably all a coinky-dink. Now, in her blog post, Casey promotes this Aura ring, and she talks about her vacation in Costa Rica, and she's wearing this Aura ring that tracks her heart rate and other body functions. She thinks it's great. The U.S. Surgeon General nominee promotes these wearables for tracking your biological functions. Casey wrote, and I quote, "What's more, A drop in heart rate variability can predict the onset of COVID-19 before PCR testing is positive. Ugh, who has a vomit bucket handy? I sure need one. Now, she says on her blog post that she wants the new administration to, more than anything, she writes, I would like to see our future White House rally Americans to be healthy and fit. We need inspirational national leaders helping to inspire people to care about their health, the food they eat, and their fitness. We also need leaders who understand the relationship between human health and environmental health, which are inextricably linked. We cannot go on poisoning the earth. Do I hear climate change, anyone? Without destroying our own health. We are one with nature. Yes, she is a new age person. And of course, there's nothing wrong with seeking a healthy lifestyle. I personally like to inspire people to take care of their one precious body and make the most of their one precious life. But I'm not the government. I'm an individual. And the government's job is not to keep us healthy or safe. The government's job is to keep us free. And I draw the line if the government continues to push these tests, tracking, and jabs as healthy practices. Now, I'm sure there's more to this story of Casey Means and her brother, Callie. They seem to have appeared out of nowhere as comrades of Bob Kennedy. They suddenly were on all the podcasts and mainstream news channels, almost as if they had been placed there to push a narrative. Let me know what you find out and email me any links of interest, support at thehealthyamerican.org. It was a tip from one of my Healthy Americans who let me know that Casey Means was promoting these biometric wearables. And I, for one, am completely opposed to that. As I mentioned, Casey's father was the assistant to Nelson Rockefeller, who was the vice president under Gerald Ford. I think there's a lot more to dig into when it comes to the Means family. Again, we're told that he worked for NASA and also one of the first Silicon Valley chip manufacturers. He also worked on the U.S. food stamp program, now called SNAP. And of course, Bob and Casey want to take away people's ability to choose what they want to purchase food-wise. They want to ban sodas. What exactly is a soda? Does that include diet soda? Does that include sparkling water? Does that include sodas that are made with stevia or healthy ingredients? So no, I'm not in favor of the government restricting people's food choices at all. So after leaving the government, we're told that Grady Means, Casey's father, formed a healthcare and public policy consulting firm in San Francisco. Now, who knows if that's even true? Here's the only photo of Grady I could find on his website. It makes me think of those spy movies where a CIA agent is trying to obscure his identity. I guess he just couldn't find a better photo to use. I'm probably reading far too much into it. As I say, this story is getting curiouser and curiouser. There's more to dig into, I'm certain, but this is what I've got for now. Let me know what you find out. And if you are in favor of a Surgeon General who promotes the wearing of devices with a filament that is implanted into your body to track your biomarkers with the data going to the government, what say you? Friends, I'll be back with you tomorrow. Remember, I'm here every day, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Monday through Friday, always over at my Substack, peggyhall.substack.com. And I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming broadcast.